Hi, my name's Josh. I'm an English teacher on a quest to turn my students into massive nerds. Miniature wargaming is not particularly well known where I live, and I would like to take some steps to rectify this. This video is part of a series where I introduce various miniature wargames to my ESL students, teach them how to play the game, hopefully have some fun while we're doing it, and afterwards discuss how the game went, how they felt about it. Did they like it? Would they like to play some more? Did it feel a bit difficult? And so on. Since Catalyst has recently launched their Mercenaries Kickstarter, I thought now would be a great time to introduce some of my students to the world of Battletech. Specifically, we're going to look at Alpha Strike. I want to look at Alpha Strike first, in part because of its simplicity compared to classic Battletech, which you can clearly see just by comparing their record sheets. I had 4 students interested in playing with me, so I made 4 250 point forces and grouped them into 2 teams of 2. This way the students could work together and not have to worry about unit selection. As with any miniature wargame, it's always best to start with the very basics and the core mechanics before adding any of the extras that help to make it more interesting. With this in mind, I wanted to focus on initiative, movement, combat and damage rules, since these are at the very core of any Alpha Strike game. Naturally, to make things simpler, we ignored the heat mechanics. In a lot of cases they didn't really come into play anyway. We also ignored the force organization and battlefield support rules. So the game started with a bit of an explanation about how the game works, or how the turns work. And naturally, the first 2 turns were a little bit slow, with players not getting used to movement, or the fact that you do all your movement and then do all your shooting. These movement tokens that you get in the Alpha Strike box came in really handy, I must say. By about turn 3 though, all the players had gotten their heads around the turn structure and things started moving a lot more quickly. It also helps that a lot of mechs got knocked out due to damage around about this point, which meant the players had fewer mechs to keep track of, move and shoot with in the following turns. Well, what would I do differently next time? The first thing that comes to mind is use a smaller force. 250 points gets you so I think next time I'll either try 100 points or maybe 150. I'd also consider not talking about critical hits. This is an extra complication to the core mechanics, just like heat. Although when this started to come up, it was only coming up later in the game, at which point the players had largely gotten their heads around the turn structure as well as movement, combat and damage. You've heard my thoughts on how the game went, but I think the more important question is, how did the students feel? After all, I already love Battletech, but this is their first exposure to the game. So now I'm going to give my students a chance to share their thoughts on this game. And what did you think of that game?
It has so many strategies that we have to consider.
So much to think about.
For example, when my mecha stands as a back of the enemy, it can shoot more, it could cause more damage.
Yeah.
And we have to we have to stay around these things.
Yeah, have to try to control the objective.
And we do a lot of mathematics. I was praying that their dices can be less than the number,
Yeah.
so that we will not die so soon.
Kaylee, Alvin, what do you think?
Maybe in the last round, I should shoot the soldiers around this place and not in that one. Maybe the results were better.
Maybe, yeah. If you tried to shoot more of the ones around here, yeah.
In my opinion, we have to think about many aspects. Like in part 1, I choose to shoot. But I lost my
Point.
3 point, my chance to get point.
Yep.
And this one is my strongest man.
Which one?
This one.
The Wraith.
Because it has many TMM,
Yeah.
but it has less score.
Less damage.
Yes. But if I stand a good place, I can get everyone.
Yeah.
And skills are very important. If I can't jump, I can here.
Which is what you were doing.
It's my first time to play this kind of game.
Me too.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Which is why you notice that Carl has played not this game, but another one before.
Oh.
So you notice that Carl was telling Kaylee what to do.
Yes.
So, oh, do this, do this, do this.
And there are both advantages and disadvantages for each mecha.
Yeah.
For example, Supernova, he can cause more damage, and he has many armors and
Yeah.
structure, but he can only move 6 inches.
Yep.
So when we make a decision, we have to consider many factors.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask that. What does critical hits mean?
Critical hits means things like, so you got shot maybe like in the arm and the arm has fallen off, or the leg has started to fall off. Yes, we didn't talk too much about the special abilities in here as well. Most of them we don't need to worry about. Thank you very much, students, and thank you all very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you got some useful information out of this too, if you're planning on introducing this game to some people. If you are new to Battletech, let us know in the comments below how you felt about your first game. You can find a link to Catalyst Games' latest Mercenaries Kickstarter, as well as some places you can buy their other games down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.